Hello everybody, Jason Napalm here. This is a needle, okay? This is a piece of string, needle and string, okay? Jesus said it's easier for a rich man, for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. And when the disciples heard this, they said, then who can enter into the kingdom of God? It seems like an impossible thing for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God when he's being referred to as a camel being able to go through an eye of a needle. Now, there's no way a camel can get through that. Absolutely not. No chance whatsoever. So it seems that Jesus is saying it's impossible. Okay. Now, the word camel in the Bible, at least in the English Bibles, can mean two different things in Greek, Latin or Aramaic. The word camel in Aramaic can be translated as the animal, camel, or rope, or a cord, C-O-R-D. Same in the Greek and same in Latin. The words camel are so similar, there's maybe a little space in between the K and the AM, or the CAM. And if we look at the translation of the word camel, we can get two different things, rope or the animal. Now, let's say, for example, that we've already looked at the camel animal. There's no chance it can get through the eye of a needle. And there was a myth that there was a doorway in Israel called the eye of a needle that camels would go through, but that's been proven to have no archaeological evidence of its existence, so we have to ignore that. So camels can't go through needles. So was Jesus using hyperbole? Was he using exaggerated saying? And if that was the case, it certainly makes it impossible for a rich man to get into the kingdom of God. Now, if we were to use the word camel as in it being a rope or a thread, I've got this piece of string here, yeah? And I've got a needle. Now, this is a pretty thick piece of string, yeah? And that cannot go through there, no matter what I do. Okay, let's put my glasses on. That's not going through. However, if I pull that apart, I can then pass that through the needle. Okay, see that? Got it through, and it fell off. So, if you imagine this being a rope, that rope can fit through the eye of a needle. But what am I having to do to fit that rope through the eye of a needle? I'm having to strip it back. Okay, strip it back to its thinnest point, and then it will fit through the needle. That's how a rope fits through a needle, so it is possible. I like the symbolism in this possibility, okay, that Jesus was actually referring to rope or a cord, okay, being harder to go through the eye of a needle, because it seems to make sense in the context of the rich man when Jesus said, you cannot enter the kingdom of God unless you get rid of your riches, okay, you give to the poor. He's asking him to strip himself back, and the rope represents the rich man. The rope can represent us as well. For us to enter the kingdom of God, we have to strip back, take the pride away, take the unbelief away, take everything that would hinder us from entering into God's kingdom away, until finally we're stripped back enough to be able to fit through that eye of a needle. So I found that a really interesting illustration, that it is possible that when Jesus said it's harder for a camel to go through the eye of a needle, there wasn't actually an animal, but it was actually a rope or a cord. Now, whatever a person chooses to believe, it's up to them. I'm just putting it out there. To me, that completely makes sense. And that signifies that it's not impossible, okay? Because the disciples said to Jesus, then who can be saved? And Jesus said, all things are possible to him that believes. It is possible, but it takes a lot of stripping back of ourselves, and the rich man would have had to strip himself from his riches and down to who he was, and then he could have fit through the eye of a needle. So let me know what you think. Leave a mention in the comments, but Google it yourself here. Google the eye of the needle, was camel a rope or an animal, okay? And just do your own little bit of research. So there we go. See you again soon. God bless you.